Welcome everyone, and please be seated. Just one easy housekeeping tip. Could you make sure that your phones are on silence? Thank you. I'm going to have you take one step that way. There you go. Oops. And I would like you to come together and hold hands. And then I would like you to take a deep breath. And when you exhale, reconnect with one another. You know, there are a lot of photos, videos going to be taken today. But the one that you will carry in your hearts, in your memories forever, is the moment those doors opened. And Andy, you saw Claire standing there and then walking down that aisle towards you. And for you, Claire, when you looked through those doors and saw Andy standing here waiting for you, it's here, it's your wedding day. One of the most beautiful moments in your life. So just take it all in. All that has brought you here, all that you have to look forward to. And on behalf of Andy and Claire, I welcome you and thank you all for gathering here on this most beautiful afternoon to witness their vows and to celebrate their love. We'd also like to give a very special, respectful acknowledgement to those friends and family members who were not able to be with us today. But we know that their love and their best wishes are here. I've also been asked by Claire and Andy to thank their parents for the wonderful lives that you have given them, for your hard work, the guidance, the advice that you have provided, but for also, and most importantly, for your everlasting love, your support, and your encouragement. Because it is from you, their parents, that they learned the true meaning of friendship, of family, and of love. Let us begin your ceremony today with a reading. And Denise, do you have a reading for us?
No, we forgot about that. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Today is one of the most important moments in your life. And yet, you know, it's a day that goes by so quickly. By this evening, it's all going to seem like a blur. So I would like you to really feel that love that flows between you. Just relax and be here. Just be present in this moment and feel the happiness in your hearts. Just think of all of the people who have crossed your paths, of all of the meaningful occurrences that had to come together for your paths to cross. Some might say Cupid had been very busy, because when you look back at all that had to happen for your paths to cross, the smallest detail could not have been out of place. Timing had to be pretty much perfect, because it could not be a second too soon, or it could not have been a choice not made for your love story to begin. For example, you're both from the Midwest, but you didn't meet until you both moved to Washington State. And then remember when your paths first crossed. It was fall of 2018 when you were a match on Bumble. And Andy, before you could even schedule a date, Claire decided she was spending way too much time just mindlessly swiping through the app and deleted her account. Cupid didn't give up though. Just a few months later, Claire decided to start using Bumble again. Once again, you were a match. Andy, you knew that you had to very quickly set an in-person date and get it scheduled just in case Claire changed her mind again and deleted her account. The timing was perfect, and you had your first in-person meeting. And as your friendship grew and it deepened, you both soon realized you had found that one other person who's unlike anyone else, who you can share your hopes and dreams and fears with. They're the one who makes any day you spend together the very best one. And within months of dating, both of you knew, in that deepest heart of hearts, that this is the person you will be spending the rest of your life with, because they are the one that you love. You know, love is just 4 letters, and it's a very small word for an emotion so beautiful to feel and so difficult to explain. It's that longing two people feel for one another, a longing which draws them together in a way they had never even thought about before. It's a caring about each other's welfare and happiness as your own. It's a sharing together in body and in spirit the warmth, serenity, and peace two people can give to one another. Love is easily seen in a secret smile, and it's felt in a very simple, reassuring touch. It's a hand that is held at a time of uncertainty. Claire, you shared with me how you love Andy's kindness, how soft his heart is for all living things. You love his confidence, his professionalism, and his dedication to bettering himself, and how handy he is, which has inspired the nickname Handy Andy. You love his love of dogs, and how Andy, over the past 3 years, has gotten Henry, your very overprotective dog, to soften up to him. And Andy, you have shared how Claire is one of the kindest people that you know. Your love for her massive amount of compassion and empathy for others is one that you deeply admire. How she always strives to see the positive side of things, even when there's negative things going on. How she can be outgoing and will drag you out to do fun things like going for a hike or finding fun things to do in downtown Portland. She also, though, likes to relax and is really fine with just hanging out at home. You love how Claire is independent and how she strives to challenge herself. And mostly, how Claire makes it easy for you to just be yourself, no matter what you are doing around her. Andy and Claire, for you, marriage is an affirmation of life. It's an undying commitment, a spiritual, emotional, intellectual bond between two people who want to spend decades of happiness together. It's an adventure and the most intimate of human relationships. It's a mutual commitment of two people sincerely in love who share the same dreams about life. It's striving to stay on top of your love to travel. It's visiting all 50 of the United States as planned. It's owning a variety of dogs and making a family with lots of children. And it's forever living on the edge. But it's even more than that. It's an intimate sharing of two lives, a sharing that does not diminish, but it enhances each of you. But as extraordinary as love is, a successful marriage takes much more than love. It takes trust to know in your heart of hearts that you want only the best for each other. It takes dedication to stay open to one another, to learn and grow from each other, even if it might feel difficult to do. And it takes faith to walk forward together, not knowing what the next second will bring. There is no truer statement of love than the choice you have made to walk through life together. But it wasn't made by any one moment in time. But it was made by being together. Because by that time that you spent together, those long conversations, the quiet moments, you grew to realize that you belong together, that you fulfill each other's needs. You have come to thrive upon each other's presence, loyalty, and wisdom. The foundation of your love is your friendship. A friendship you nurtured until at last you realized you want to be together always, and that you want to join your lives in marriage. That commitment that you will make in just a moment, the vows that you will now make, strengthen that foundation, because they are a public, formal statement that this is the person you wish to share the rest of your life with. So I now ask, Andy, is it your intent this day to be married to Claire?
It is.
And Claire, is it your intent this day to be married to Andy?
It is.
Andy, please repeat after me. I, Andy,
I, Andy,
take you, Claire,
take you, Claire,
for my wife,
for my wife,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better,
for better,
for worse,
for worse,
for richer,
for richer,
or poorer,
or poorer,
in sickness
in sickness
and in health,
and in health,
until death
until death
do us part.
do us part.
And Claire, please repeat after me. I, Claire,
I, Claire,
take you, Andy,
take you, Andy,
for my husband,
for my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better,
for better,
for worse,
for worse,
for richer,
for richer,
for poorer,
for poorer,
in sickness
in sickness
and in health,
and in health,
until death
until death
do us part.
do us part.
And the rings, please. And would you join left hands? And please join left hands. All right. You trust me, no one on their wedding day is too sure where their hands are, much less what's right and what's left. So they are perfectly normal. All right. So, Andy, as you place Claire's ring upon her finger, please repeat after me. Claire,
Claire,
I promise
I promise
I will always be there for you.
I will always be there for you.
So just get aggressive. It's almost there. There you go.
And Claire, as you place Andy's ring upon his finger, please repeat after me. Andy, I promise
Andy, I promise
that I will always be there for you.
that I will always be there for you.
You're wearing wedding bands. And you know, it is said that a wedding band, a wedding ring, is a circle, and a circle is an ancient symbol of completeness, of infinity. But there's also a space in that ring. And I like to think it's the doorway, the gateway to the grandest adventure you will ever have. Today, Andy and Claire have chosen a sand ceremony to symbolize the binding of their two lives as one. So I'm going to step out of the way so they can kind of move up and face their containers of sand. Andy's container is green, and his sand symbolizes all that he was, all that he is, and all that he will ever be. And Claire's container is a color of tan sand, and hers symbolizes all that she was, all that she is, and all that she ever will be. And they will now pour their containers of sand at the same time into the center container. Symbolizing the combining of their two lives into one. And just as these grains of sand can never be separated and poured back into their separate containers, so too will their marriage and their family be forever intertwined. And, you know, relationships change. They shift. There you go. Pictures. Okay. So this is how it looks right now. It's very pretty. But over time, those grains of sand are going to move and shift, creating different patterns. But they'll always be green and tan. So just like you will always remain who you are. But together, you create a new union. Go. Claire and Andy, remember to treat both yourselves and each other with respect. And remind yourselves often of what brought you together. Always give the highest priority to the tenderness, gentleness, and kindness that your connection, your relationship deserves. And all of us who are present here today hope that the inspiration of this moment will never be forgotten. May all your days and years to come be filled with vision and joy and passion. And may the love that you now share continue to grow. And may the happiness that you bring to each other always be a continuing part of your life together. May you continue to laugh often. Enjoy each other every day. Be steadfast in hope and in confidence. Believe in yourself. Believe in each other. And may your love be a sanctuary and a source from which you draw strength to live your lives with enthusiasm and imagination. And may the people you touch in your lifetime see and know how much you love and care for each other. And may you love one another always. And now, for the words you've been waiting to hear. With the best wishes of your friends and your family, by the laws of the state of Oregon, it is my honor to now pronounce you husband and wife. Andy, please kiss your bride.